Hey there guys, it's Max Clausen, and as you can see in front of you, I myself have joined the Way of the Fire. I am bringing to you a Tenpai Dragon version 1 deck profile. So, as this deck came out, I actually was asked by a few people going like, hey, are you gonna make Tenpai? What do you think of Tenpai? And my overall consensus of the deck is that it's very cool, it's very strong, and the fact that they have two ways of keeping you from interacting with them is really ridiculous, being the field spell and one of the synchro monsters. And it very much fits in line with my original playstyle of the game. For those of you who didn't know, my original playstyle was OTK, so falls very in line with that. So by the time this goes up and you guys see this, I will likely already be at locals, so I'm gonna be showing you dual videos for that, so keep tuned. So further ado, we're gonna get into the main and extra. No side yet, because as I said, this is gonna be a version 1 of the deck, and whatever side I bring to locals, I'm gonna keep it a surprise, but you know, some people should already know what's Tenpai side. Now, if we're gonna start off with the monsters being 3 Tenpai Dragon Shundra, Tenpai Dragon Hydra, and then 1 copy of Tenpai Dragon Fadra. Now, full disclosure, I did get this idea from Kamon, being that this is the only Tenpai Dragon that does absolutely nothing by itself. Be it that all of these have effects that happen in the battle phase and at the start of the damage step. So, Shundra, his first unique effect is that if you control a fire dragon monster, or it's a Tenpai, yep, if you control level 4 lower fire dragon monster, you can just special summon himself from your hand. And at the start of the damage step, when he battles, he can summon a level 4 lower fire dragon monster from your deck. Then that would be Pydra. Pydra's unique effect is that on summon, it can add or set, just like the Ubel cards, one of your Sanguine spell or trap cards, and it doesn't really do anything else aside from, just like Shundra, they both, like all 3 of them rather, have the quick synchro effect during the battle phase. And Fadra, when this battles, or when something you control battles, you can summon a level 4 lower fire dragon monster from your graveyard. So this is the reason why you only run 1 of this card. Again, stated he does nothing by himself. He needs something to be in the graveyard already. And thankfully, your boy was able to pick these copies up pretty much for just $30. Ridiculous, I know. So I pretty much plussed off that, so I was able to get these very easily. So I was like, you know what, sure, I'll make this deck. The extra deck, aside from the stupid Tread and Dragian, you can just play this very easily. That's going to be that for the Tenpai Dragons. Now, onto the myriad of hand traps that you have to play. First off, being the unique one, is Bestial Ball and Magnamut. It depends on the matchup, obviously, but since we do have hand traps like Valor running around, Ghost Ogre making its resurgence, and one of the meta decks being in the format being Voiceless Voice, this is still a decently good option, and Branded to an extent is still in the game. So if they try to lock you with the gimmick puppy, you just get it out the graveyard before they summon Sanctifier. And on summon at the end phase, you can add one of your a dragon monster from your deck to your hand. So it's pretty tailor-made for this deck. Indirect support, I would say. Now for the official hand traps, we do have the 3 Ash Blossom, the 3 Ghost Ogre, and the Ghost Bell. Ghost Ogre is the next one. And then we have the 3 Infinite Impermanence. Your myriad of 12 hand traps. I would run more, but I have other stuff in this deck that I think really helps fight the meta. So these are all the hand traps I'm playing. Nothing more, nothing less. You could change the Ghost Bell out for a Ghost Mourner if you so wanted to, which I may do myself. And yeah, this line of hand traps. Also, all of these, everything you see here is affordable. We, at the time of this video going out, Rarity Collection 2 has been revealed and the full set list has dropped, so you can get Ghost Ogres more easily, Ghost Mourners more easily, and since we have Rarity Collection 2 and many other prints of Ash Blossom, this card is very affordable. I'm not sure about Ghost Belle, but she should be easily affordable too, because as you see, she's from Premium Gold. Now we go into our spell cards. The first 6 being Sangen Summoning and Sangen Kaiman. These are your most important cards of the deck, the field spell being the most important. For starters, for the field spell, during the main phase 1, your fire dragon monsters are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. So they cannot do anything like, they can do things like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre. Doesn't really matter because they just sit there. And it works as well, even more as well, for your extra deck things, being that you can go into a Black Rose, they can't do anything against her, and then wipe the entire field and then start fresh. Sangen Kaiman, this card is really important. At the start of the battle, it has 2 effects. It's a Rhoda and E-Telly of sorts. So at the start of the battle phase, if you activate this card, then you can add you can use both effects. You can add a level 4 lowered fire dragon monster to your hand and then special summon one from your hand. And Sangen Summoning second effect is that if this card is destroyed in the battle phase, you can target one of your fire dragons, double its attack. So that's really what helps you do the OTK. Next off, we have my crazy line of cards. The triple tactics thrust, the triple pot of prosperity, the triple cross out, all of my 3 ofs. Thrust is thrust. Shouldn't have to really explain this. I mean, you can cut this card if you so choose to, being the fact that, you know, they're not going to be able to really stop your Tenpai dragons in the main phase anyway. But should they not know that, or should they do other effects that can try to help them, keep them alive or so, you can activate this, search out any of your powerful normal spells. Prosperity is prosperity. This deck can OTK through it, which is what I find the most ridiculous part about this archetype. Helping you dig deeper into your deck for your board wipes, your starter pieces, things like that is very helpful. And cross out, just because, like my Adagnister deck, this deck has so much space that it can play this card and have the necessary cards to, you know, hit for it, since a lot of the cards currently in the deck are being played in the meta. Next off, for the 1-ofs, because we play the Thrust, the 1 Regeki, the 1 Lightning Storm, the 1 Feather Duster, the 1 Terraforming. All of these can be searched out, as well as Pot of Prosperity and the Infinite Impermanence. So that's why you only run 1 of these cards. And since, you know, I have 3 of them. And I have the 1 obligatory Call by the Grave to stop any hand trap that may have its chance of stopping us. That is it for the main deck. That is a clean 40 cards. Now we're going to get into the extra deck. And another shout out to Kmon for helping me, let me borrow these cards, but I will be getting them myself soon. So my own 25th anniversary, whew, that glare. 25th anniversary Black Rose Dragon. This deck can really abuse this card easily. The 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. While it's on the field in the battle phase, your opponent cannot activate monster effects. Same goes for the Samurai Destroyer for the U-Bell matchup and any other matchup that would be very detrimental to us, per se the mirror match. When it battles, your monster effects are negated and you cannot activate anything. We have the 2 Sangenpai Biden Dragian. you on summon, you can summon a level 4 lower fire dragon monster back from your graveyard, but you are locked into dragon synchros for the rest of the turn. And if 3 or more attacks have been declared by you this turn, you can special summon it from the graveyard and then pop a spell or trap card once per duel. Then we have Transcendent Dragian, which is pretty much the same thing, except for this card, the moment he's synchro summoned, the turn he's synchro summoned, your opponent cannot activate anything, which is ridiculous. This card is so oppressive. And he also, as I stated, has the same effect as Trident Dragian, Tenpai Biden Dragian, that if 3 attacks are declared, he can summon himself back from the graveyard and he pops a monster instead. Then I know, even though I said you can play this deck budget, but again, thanks to Cayman, wow, I do have access to the Trident Dragion. This deck can do a lot of damage without it, but you know, since we have the Pot of Prosperity, we definitely OTK through it, and it's ridiculous. If you don't have Trident Dragion, you can obviously replace this with something else and then cut the prosperities for maybe an extravagance. You just play extras of a lot of stuff in your extra deck. And then for the mirror match and other things like Ubel and such like that, we do play the Time Lord monster just to banish things from the field and then, you know, start fresh in a sense. Then for the obligatory link package, the Striker Dragon, for the Hieratic Seals, can't wait to get you QCR, friend. The Hitach, the Fire Charmer, I'm getting my super one pretty soon. The Dark Charmer. The whole point of this is, like you've seen in other profiles, if they don't have a fire monster in the graveyard, like an Ash or something, don't go into this, go into this. Just because with Striker Dragon, you will have him and another Tenpai Dragon on the field, so you have options for either of these because they require one monster of one other including at least one of their attribute, one monster including a dark, one monster including a fire. So the fact you can go into both of these in this deck is very easy. And then we have our Fire Princess, which you'll be seeing a lot more of in my other deck profiles. The Zelantis and the Salamangreat Raging Phoenix. All of these literally just for if you get hit with D Barrier, you have the OTK line with Fire Princess, World Sea Dragon, Raging Phoenix. It's ridiculous. With that being said, that is going to do it for the Tenpai Dragon deck profile, version 1, as I stated. If you guys enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I just wanted to give a big thanks to all of you for getting us over 300 subs. Really appreciate that. Just 200 more. I know we can make it before the end of the year. So if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to go to my other videos and see what you like. Comment down below what you think of the deck, what you would change, what you would add, and what do you think of the new support that's going to be coming out, which I've seen it and it's pretty insane. So I will see you all in the next video, and be sure to look out for the dual videos coming out. Take care.